Hi guys. So on this day in history, last year I started my Caringbridge. And I'm about 2 days behind on videos, so I need to catch up a little bit. But yeah, today is the anniversary of the day that I started my Caringbridge. I can thank my friend Sam for that one. I wasn't going to do a Caringbridge. I thought that sharing information about my cancer with other people was putting my my distress, I guess, on people that didn't need to have it, and my pain and suffering on people that didn't necessarily need it. And what she sort of made me recognize was that there were a lot of people that cared about me, that were wondering how I was doing and wanted updates. And she was right. And I'm glad that she made me recognize that. And it's been a big, huge learning curve of a year in recognizing that there are so many people in this world that have amazing hearts and that care very deeply about me, and about others. And I'm very happy that I started that Caringbridge. I'm very happy that my friend Sam made me do so. And I'm very lucky and blessed that so many people in this world care deeply about myself, my family, my well-being, and about others. It really, you hear so many negative stories all the time on the news, but you rarely hear the good ones. And I have been spending a year, I think, absorbed in the good stories. But going back to the 2 days that I missed, on October 17th, I was supposed to, for some reason, Rocky Mountain Cancer Center was pushing me very hard to have my chemo that day. It was really too early, given the day that I had my port put in. I really should have had at least 5 to 7 days recovery with that port. I was still, like I said, extremely bruised on my arm, and I could barely move it. And my port scars were still, like, my stitches weren't even out of my port yet. Yeah, I was just not in a place yet to have chemo. My Dignity cap, my ice cap hadn't even arrived yet. Like, I was not ready to have chemo yet. But all that being said, actually, it wasn't the Dignity cap at that point. It was, they used a different cap over there. But I made the decision to, instead of going to Rocky Mountain Cancer Center for my my chemo that day, I made the decision to go to the University of Colorado and do a meet and greet with their entire oncology team. And it was very interesting how they do their system of meeting their oncology team versus how Rocky Mountain Cancer Center did it. Where before, at the Rocky Mountain Cancer Center, I felt like I was privileged to be given the appointments that I was given. It was like, you will meet your doctor on Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. because that is the appointment that your doctor has, right? And that was sort of the way they did their appointments, which was a little bit like being given like an exclusive appointment at a spa, or which even if like, I don't want to be a member. What's the line, the famous line? I don't want to be a member of any club that'll have me as a member. But anyways, the way that the University of Colorado did it instead was that they had you come in for a long period of time, about 5 hours, and their entire team comes and they meet you. So you meet radiology, you meet breast surgery, you meet nutrition, you meet oncology, you literally meet everybody, and you just sit in your room. You just sit there with your support person. It's probably different after COVID, but you just sit there and they rotate to you, which is a really nice way of doing business. We've actually had this model before at Children's Hospital. When my daughters, actually both daughters, one daughter, but my older daughter, had to go to the aerodigestive clinic when she was younger. We had the exact same model at the aerodigestive clinic, and it was really, as long as a day it was for her with the 5-hour window. It was so much easier to just have every, specialist that we needed all in one place together. And then they got together afterwards and they talked about your case. So they're all working together with you. So you don't have to then become your own coordinator, making sure saying, well, the radiologist said this. Well, the breast surgeon said this, you know that they're all then working together as a team. So after meeting with them on the 17th, I knew it was 100% a better option for me. I felt like I was, once again, I was a patient and I was in a place that it was a dialogue that, I wasn't in a place where I felt like I needed to walk on eggshells, where I couldn't ask questions, where I wasn't respected as a patient. So I chose that day, instead of doing chemo, I chose to go to the University of Colorado. I don't remember what excuse I made up for not going to chemo that day, but I did call after my appointment and tell them that I had decided to switch to the University of Colorado at Anschutz. I said it was a better fit for me. I left it in good terms. I don't think that you should ever leave anything in bad terms with any oncology center. You never know what's going to happen in the long run. And I certainly didn't have like a super, negative experience. They definitely, put my port in. They diagnosed my cancer. They got me a PET scan and a CT scan and other such things. And ultimately, who knows what's going to happen down the line and when I may need to go back there again. But that is what happened on the 17th, is that I officially switched over to the University of Colorado at Anschutz and became a patient there. And then from there, I found out that I needed to do some stuff there. I needed to do another chemo teach there. I found out that I needed to get all my record transferred over there. And there were a couple other things that would come up that I needed to do on their end, because blood work, etc., because I was switching to a different, and obviously every university has a different protocol. And like I said, after I officially met with them, I started the Caringbridge, and I officially alerted the general public about my cancer, which was a big move, because up until then I had been pretty private about, I told, a handful of people about the fact that I had cancer, but I hadn't really told everybody. Before I had kids, I had always said that if I got cancer, I wouldn't do chemo. I thought that chemo was one of those things that really affected those around you to a point that almost bordered on selfish, was the way I saw it. And that was a personal misunderstanding. My dad has always told me that we don't mourn for the person that's dead, we mourn for the loss of them in our lives. And I now understand, having gone through chemo, putting up the Caringbridge, and having gone through this year, that that my cancer is not just about me. It's about the people that love me, and it's about the people that support me, and it's about the people that support my family. And that, not filling people in on what's going on in my life is the selfish part. And not having chemo as an example and not trying to fight the cancer is the selfish part. So I think, when I was young and I would make these comments or have these thoughts, I think I didn't necessarily understand fully what the scope of cancer was, and what the treatment was, and how the impact of cancer fully impacts your entire life and those around you. I mean, even on the peripheral levels. But I now understand, a year later, that, and, you know, with the Caringbridge and everybody in my life that has done everything from signing up for supper bells for us to make sure that we were fed during chemo, to just writing wonderful comments to us on the Caringbridge, to sending money because I wanted to, you know, to get me happy about going to chemo. I would bring gifts to people they used to have these chemo carts before COVID, and I would motivate myself by bringing something to other people that had cancer. And I had some wonderful people in my life that wanted to support me doing that. And so they sent me donations to help me provide for the for the chemo care cards. And I have learned, and the cards, oh my gosh, the number of cards and chemo gifts, but the cards that people sent me, I took all those cards and I made this beautiful collage that sat above my toilet. And when I used to lay on the ground and sit in front of the toilet during those really awful nights of chemo, and I could barely get off the ground, I would look up at those cards that everybody sent me, and they would bring me strength and love. And so, like, now I understand, you know, I get it. It's not about me. It's about everybody else. And the selfish part of me would be to deny myself care, because it's not about me, right? Anyways, so today in history is the day that I started my Caringbridge, and 2 days ago is the day that I switched over to the University of Colorado at Anschutz instead of having chemo at the wrong place. And I would end up having chemo on the 30th of October, which I'll get into. But I thank everybody that is listening to this for the support and the care and the kindness, and for making me understand so much about human nature, especially right now in times of darkness, because I know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel at all times. I always know that. The saying is that the hour before dawn is always the darkness. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. That was a horoscope I once received, and it's a line that I'll always remember. So thank you, and thank you for listening to these videos. And that's the end of my video today. And I'm sorry it's a little late. I was at the Brown Palace celebrating my daughter's birthday. So that's it. Have a great night and a good Monday, or a great day and a good Monday. Thanks so much.